Yeah, good to see you again, Xiaonan. It's been a while. Just happy Sunday to you. Hope the weekend has been treating you. Just how are you doing this weekend?
那咱就开始啊，很高兴又见到你，采访你，然后在这个周日的晚上，你这两天最近怎么样
嗯，挺好的。这两天我是周末嘛，也不用训练，很开心，而且身体啊也很丰盛。
？All good, yeah. Now it's weekend, so yesterday and today just have a little break, have a rest. No training, just get my body recovered.
Of course. Gotta always stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? And were you coming from training just now? What have you been up to today?
所以今天没训练，你都干嘛了？
我今天上午去练柔术了，就是简单练了一下，就技术嘛。完
嗯
了下午在游泳，就是放松，一直在游泳，刚回来，所以说差一点迟到了。
，Yeah, I did some jujitsu drill this morning, very light drill, nothing intense, just technique drill. And I went to swimming this afternoon, just get my body relaxed. So that's why I came back home a little bit late.
Okay, all right, very cool. Yeah, swimming is always kind of a good exercise to do, and I feel like not a lot of people utilize that for kind of maybe conditioning and fighting, but is that something you've been doing for a while, or is it kind of something new you've incorporated into your preparations?
他说游泳挺好的，尤其是很好的一个放松和调整。你是之前就也喜欢用游泳来放松，或者是进行训练吗？还是就是最近才开始游泳？
就是游泳有的时候会游，会很放松嘛。用游泳训练的话没有过，或者是放松出去逛公园啊，或者是爬山呐、
Yeah, I just swim for just relax, you know, not for like strength and conditioning. I just swim occasionally. Sometimes I have other options like hiking or do some outdoor things, or sometimes I will choose swimming.
Of course. And are you still doing work with Team Alpha Male? I know that like the last time we talked, you were kind of seeing how things went, working with them for the last couple fights. But have you stuck with it now, or are you still in California? Where are you at this exact moment with kind of the training camp situation?
所以你现在还是在这个 Team Alpha Male 备战嘛？然后最近的这个备战的情况怎么样？跟他们感觉？
对，我还是在 Team 阿尔法训练，感觉备战的话都很顺利，教练也会给我制定训练的计划呀，还有针对比赛对手的计划，就是一切顺利吧。
Yeah, I'm still training at Team Alpha Male. I have my fight camp this time there, as same as before, and everything goes very smoothly. And the coach they give me a particular game plan for this fight, so everything goes very well.
All right, awesome to hear it. And before we get talking about the next fight, of course, wanted to kind of go back to the last one, Xiaonan, because it was obviously a very, very close one, a very fun one with Marina Rodriguez. Unfortunately, I don't get the win in that one, but I know you believe you should have won that fight as well as a lot of people thought you should have. So now having had so much time to look back on it, like, what are the big takeaways from that one? Because it was still a great performance from you, even though maybe the judges didn't see it how a lot of people did.
所以啊，在聊新的比赛之前，咱们不可避免的又要回顾一场上一场跟这个罗德里格斯的比赛。那场比赛呢，虽然输了，但是呢，咱们也觉着其实咱们是在咱们眼里是赢了。所以，那通过那场比赛，你有什么样的收获？吸取了什么样的教训？收获了什么样的经验？
我觉得通过上一场比赛吧，我吸取了就是我第一回合被受伤了嘛，踢裆了，当时有一些疼，所以说会影响我第二局和第三局就没有第一回合那么猛。以后的话，我下一场比赛的话，就是也会顶着疼痛的话也无所谓，一定会全力以赴。
Yeah, the first lesson is that she kicked my groin in the first round. That really hurt me and affect my performance in the second and third rounds. And I I was unable to fight aggressive enough as I as I expect, because of the hurt, the injury. So I think that is a lesson. Just no matter what, you should fight aggressive.
Of course, and maybe we'll see a rematch down the line at some point, but obviously have other fighters to worry about first. And what that was your first fight in front of a big crowd in a while, Xiaonan. Because of the pandemic stuff, made people stay in the Apex and all that. But you got to have the big one in the T-Mobile with the 272 card, right? So was that kind of at least fun to get to feel that atmosphere again for that fight?
所以那上一场比赛还有一点就是上一场比赛是一场数字赛，重新回到了就是带观众的大体育场。你感觉怎么样？因为在那之前的几场比赛，因为疫情原因都是在 Apex， 没有什么观众，所以上一场比赛重新回到观众的这个呐喊声中，你觉得感觉如何？
我肯定是喜欢有观众的比赛，因为有观众会给你呐喊，还有现场的人会给你一些力量嘛，就是你会感觉更燃烧自己，更兴奋一些。
Yeah, of course, I prefer to fight with the spectators, the audience, because the noise, the atmosphere they created will give me strength, give me more power. So I like that feeling. I like that atmosphere with the audience in a big arena.
Yeah, definitely always fun to see. And, I noticed, Xiaonan, I think it was kind of before your fight with Carla, it seemed, at least optically from, looking at you in your fights, that you kind of packed on some good muscle around that time and, carried it into the Marina fight as well. Has that kind of been something that you've been trying to do, is kind of add some more strength with some more muscle going into, your future fights?
然后他还注意到你近期的一点变化，就是从卡拉那场比赛开始到上一场比赛，他觉得你的这个肌肉维度增长了，所以你也是近期以来一直有增强这种力量方面的训练吗？
对，我力量也现在是增加了，原来就是1个星期2次或者3次，现在是我保证每个星期都是3次的体能，而且我也注意自己的饮食了，就是太高热量的我也不吃，所以说力量还是增加的挺明显的。
Yeah, I've gained more muscle right now, and yeah, I am doing more strength and conditioning right now. Strength and conditioning training right now than before. So before I may have 2 SNC sessions per week. Now I have 3. And another change is I focus more on my diet. I eat more healthy. So yeah, that's why you think my body is changed.
Yeah, I mean, you look like you have been in great shape, so that's always nice. And is that like a noticeable feel? Do you feel noticeably different, having made these changes, like a lot better, just with your, I guess, performances in training and whatnot, like physically, is it a big difference you're noticing?
所以那除了这种外表上的区别，那你增强了力量训练，然后也改善了饮食之后，你自己这个感觉变化明显吗？自己的身体状况，你自己有觉得有明显的变化吗？
就是我发现我在美国训练，跟提马尔法一直训练，我的信心也会强大，因为跟我一起训练的人都很厉害，所以说我每天跟他们一起练，我就觉得我自己肯定会进步，而且就摔跤柔术也会进步，因为他们都很厉害嘛，所以说我也肯定跟他们如果不相上下的话，我也很厉害，我的信心也强大了，不光是身体啊，还是那个就是头脑还有心理，所有都强大。
Yeah, it's not only about the physical changing, but also about mentally. Since I train at Team FML, I train with those elite fighters every day. So I firmly believe I will make progress if I train together with them. So training at this team also build my confidence. So not only I'm not only getting stronger physically, but also mentally, I'm getting stronger right now.
Absolutely. And, a lot of people would argue, Xiaonan, that it's maybe more important to be, mentally strong than physically strong. I mean, there's always that debate of which is more important, whether it's an even balance, or do you think that one, think mental is maybe more important? How would you kind of weigh the differences there between both aspects?
所以说到这个精神方面，就是好多人也说，其实你这个内心的强大，这个精神方面的这种强壮，其实有时候比身体的强壮更重要。那你怎么看这点？你觉着身体上和精神上，哪方面更重要一点？
我觉得是精神上嘛，就像你身体有很大的肌肉，也许你的就是精神上不强大的话，对手如果没有肌肉的话，他也会打到你，因为他就觉得他能行，所以说精神会支配身体吧，应该是精神。
Yeah, I think the mental side is more important. I think some guys they are very strong, but they don't have a big heart. But some small guys, uh, they just firmly believe I can do this, I can achieve this, and they can do that. So I think on the mental side, sometimes, yeah, I believe is more important than the physical strength.
Absolutely, always good to have, rock solid foundation with all the elements that fighting, kind of needs. And, for the next fight here, Xiaonan, you got your first UFC main event, so congratulations on that. A very cool thing, to get this opportunity against Mackenzie Dern here. Were you kind of surprised and, excited by the fact that you're getting that spotlight atop a card now, or do you just kind of treat it as another fight?
所以啊，那说回咱接下来这场比赛，首先他也恭喜你，就是第一次咱打头条主赛对这个邓恩。所以当你一开始知道 UFC 这个安排的时候，你会有点惊讶吗？就打一个排名比自己还高一位的选手，然后又是头条主赛，还是你觉得这其实也就是一场比赛而已？
我觉得头条主赛吧是让我很惊讶，因为我一直想要一张有自己海报的一个 UFC 的一个海报，因为打 UFC 的时候你都要签海报，我就想什么时候有一张我的海报。完了，他终于让我打那个头条的主赛了，我就有这张海报嘛。完了，我就很激动，这个是让我激动。
Yeah, I'm really excited and a little bit surprised they put me in the main event because one of my dream in my UFC career is I hope one day I can be the headliner of the UFC poster for a UFC event. For each UFC event, we fighters need to sign the UFC posters. Yeah, each time when I sign the poster, I think, yeah, maybe one day I will be the headliner, and this time the dream come true.
Yeah, definitely a very cool thing to see. So that'll be fun getting to sign those ones with your face on it. So that is awesome. And does that make any extra pressure for you at all, Xiaonan? With the spotlight being the final fight, the extra 5 rounds, trying to snap a 2-fight losing streak. I mean, all these elements, do you try not to think about it, or is it kind of motivation in a way also?
所以那这场比赛有给你带来一些额外的压力吗？比如说打主赛，有接受更多的媒体采访啊、曝光啊，然后又是一场5回合的比赛。然后呢，之前呢咱们也是连败，这场也尽量避免3连败，就是这场其实也是一场一定要拿下的胜利。所以种种这些因素加起来，你觉得是给了你一种额外的压力呢，还是给了你更多的动力呢？
我觉得这场比赛我跟每次接到比赛的感觉还是一样的，也没有太大的压力。完了也是像每一场比赛认真的备战，因为到现在为止就是没有什么压力。我不知道后面的采访会有多少，因为我没有打过主赛嘛。但是我觉得我还是认真的去备战每一场比赛。
Yeah, I think the level of pressure is right now so far it's same as my previous fights. Nothing, no extra pressure, because for each fight I just prepare my fight very seriously. So till now everything is usual as before. I don't know how many interviews or media obligation I need to do for this fight because it's a main event. But so far everything is good. Everything is under control.
Yeah, I'm sure that you'll probably get a little bit more as it gets closer here, of course, kind of how it seems to work. But in terms of the preparation, though, Zhao, you say it's kind of like the same and whatnot. But with the extra 2 rounds, is that something that you kind of have thought of or changed anything for? I mean, I'm sure you're IFAber and, everybody kind of treats it all the same as preparing for that anyway. But for you, has that added anything new, at least preparing for a 5-round fight instead of 3 rounds?
所以啊，那说到备战，那这次是打主赛，所以会是一场5回合的比赛。那么跟以往的3回合相比，那这次在备战上，你有没有什么一些专门针对这个5回合的准备，包括教练团队啊、飞波啊什么的，他们有没有给你一些针对这次打5回合的比赛的这种准备或备战的计划？
肯定有，就是飞波啊，还有丹尼 coach 啊，还有我的拳击教练，就针对我的对手都给了我一些就是比赛的计划，就是比赛的计划和针对的训练。但是我现在能说吗？
你想说吗？你可以。
我就还是不说了，看比赛的时候。
哦，好，OK，yeah, of course, all my coaches from my team, my Uriah Faber, my jiu-jitsu coach, Danny, my boxing coach, everybody give me a game plan just for this fight. Yeah, of course, we prepare for Mackenzie and prepare for the 5 rounds fight. I'm not sure I should disclose our game plan right now, but just let's see in the fight.
Of course, I don't want you to reveal any secrets or anything, Xiaonan. You know, got to keep that closely to the chest and all. But I'm curious, though, at least what you think about Mackenzie Dern as an opponent. I mean, she's kind of one of those rare fighters, right, where we know exactly kind of what she wants to do, which is use her phenomenal jiu-jitsu, get you to the ground, try and submit you. I think it's pretty clear in this matchup, right, that you have the striking advantage, and, you know, she has the jiu-jitsu advantage against practically everybody she fights. So when you kind of assess her without giving away your game plan necessarily, right, is it kind of as simple, though, as avoid the grappling as at all costs? Like, how do you kind of just view her as an opponent and what she's best at?
所以，那你怎么评价你的这对手啊，麦肯锡·邓恩？然后他说的，作为我们局外人来看，就好像很明显，他是一个柔术高手，你是一个站立高手。那我们可以简单的说，就是其实大家都知道对互相想干什么，他肯定就想尽力把你放倒，然后降服你，你呢就想在站立上击败他。所以我们能够简单的说，这就是你的比赛计划嘛，就是争取在站立上击败他，然后避免比赛被拽入地面。
对，这是肯定的，大家都知道他是一个柔术高手嘛，我是站立的，就是很鲜明的对比嘛，所以说我一定是想站立打赢这场比赛。
Yeah, of course, it's very obvious, nothing need to deny. So yeah, she's a very high level jiu-jitsu player, grappler, and I'm a striker. My striking skill is better than her. So yeah, I want to win this game on the field. I'll strike her. Yeah, that's the game plan. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, that's the best path to victory, right, and what you want to do. But at the same time, I'm kind of curious out on, like, is it important at all for you to show off, you know, potential grappling defense or like these additional skills, because we know how great of a striker you are already, one of the best in the division. But like, do you like to show off kind of the overall game sometime, or in matchups like this where it might be a little too dangerous, is it just, you know, more important to just think about the win rather than showing off these additional skills you might have?
那所以这场比赛啊，除了像咱刚才说想在站立上赢他之外，你有没有想过在这场比赛里展示一点自己的这个地面或者摔柔技术呢？还是你觉着，对跟麦肯锡打去进入地面有点太冒险了？还是就稳稳妥妥的在站立上把他赢了，更好？你是怎么想的？
我要是一个就是脑子正常的人的话，就脑袋正常的选手的话，我都不会跟他打那个地面的柔术的。我一定会站立控制距离，会拿下这场比赛。对，打地面的话，你会很冒险，吃亏很多，因为你的目标是赢下比赛。
If I am a normal, intelligent person, I won't choose to go to the ground, you know, try to grapple with her. You know what I mean? So my goal is to win this fight. So yeah, of course, I will choose to fight on the feet, try to make this fight a striking game. Yeah, I won't to take any risk to get into ground.
Yep, very well said. I think that's a great way to look at it for sure. And obviously a win there would keep you kind of right in the mix of things atop the division. And with the main event spot, that's always a great spot to get a win in, Xiaonan. and inch yourself closer to that title shot that you want so badly. And I want to ask you about that because we got that fight coming up now, the title fight between Carla, who won the title back since we last spoke, and then she's taking on Weili, who's trying to get the title back as well. Sure, you're very interested in that one, and having fought Carla and all that, and watched Weili. Just what do you think about that fight? Do you think that Carla will be able to beat her? Everyone seems to be counting her out in this one, maybe for good reason, but I don't know. Just how do you see the next title fight playing out?
他说的这场，如果你能赢了邓恩，可能又能够回到一个争冠者的行列，因为你们这个级别其实前几名谁都有可能去争夺冠军。那说到这个冠军呢，卡拉马上要跟张伟丽打了，那你怎么看他们俩这对决？你觉得谁的赢面更大一点？
我觉得应该是张伟丽赢的面更大一些吧，因为卡拉虽然说他摔跤很强，但是张伟丽也挺强壮的。对。
Yeah, I think Weili, in my eyes, Weili has more chance to win this title fight because even Carla, her wrestling is great, it's very good, but I think Weili is strong. Weili is very strong. It's so hard to take down. Yeah, so I think Weili has more chance to win this fight.
All right, so I want to offer you this kind of scenario here, Xiaonan. If you could pick, a potential title fight situation for yourself, your first title fight in a perfect world, right? If we had these options, would you rather face Weili for the title in China, this big Chinese dream fight that we've been wanting for so long, or would you rather face Carla and try and get, revenge on her for, the first fight and win the title that way? Which fight would you prefer in your perfect world?
然后现在咱就假想一下，完全假想一下，如果接下来你能够获得冠军挑战权，那么面对伟丽跟卡拉2选1这两个人之间，你是更倾向于跟伟丽打一场，比如说在中国跟伟丽打一场比赛，还是跟卡拉打一场来打一场复仇战，然后同时夺得冠军腰带？
我觉得打卡拉吧，因为我上一场输他那场是我职业生涯里输的最惨的一回。所以说我想复仇，还是打卡拉。
Yeah, Carla. Yeah, I want to revenge. I want revenge. Yeah, my fight against Carla is the most terrible fight in my career. So I want the revenge so badly. Yeah, Carla Esparza. Yeah.
All right, fair enough for sure. And hopefully you get that chance someday, whether the belt's on the line or not. That would be a good one to run back. So with that in mind, Xiaonan, though, you fought some very good opponents through your career, obviously beaten more of them than you haven't. So who would you say has been the toughest opponent in your career? Has it been Carla, or is there maybe somebody else that stands out as the toughest opponent you've fought?
所以说到你之前的这个比赛啊，对手啊，你觉得谁是你目前打过的最难打的一个对手，或者最难打的最难的一场比赛？是卡拉吗？是那场比赛吗？还是什么一些其他的对手？
我觉得是卡拉吧。对。
Yeah, I think Carla Esparza.
对。
Yeah, all right,
yeah, she's the toughest opponent I ever faced.
Of course, champ for a reason once again. And so when you look at kind of the possibilities too, Xiaonan, there are still plenty out there. I mean, Weili, for example. Fighters that you haven't fought yet. So do you have like any dream opponents that you haven't fought in your career that you kind of hope to one day before before you eventually retire? I know that Joanna was one that you're missing out on now, but is there anybody that you kind of wish and hope that you get to fight someday that you haven't yet?
所以那说到，咱就畅想一下以后你这个级别的对手里，还有哪个是你没打过的，但是就是特别想打的？有你能说出几个名字？是哪几个是你现在就特别想打的，然后但是还没打过的？
我觉得 Rose 吧，Rose 肯定谁都想打他，我们这级别，他不可争议的嘛，他拿过冠军啊，打得也特别好。完了就是乔安娜，但是乔安娜退役了，这两个都是我想打。
Yeah, the two fighters I want to fight very, very badly. First is Rose Namajunas. She's the former champ. And I think her level is still there. Yeah, it's on the top of our division. So I want to fight her. And the other one is Joanna, but she's retired. So yeah, the active fighter right now in our division, who I want to fight is Rose Namajunas.
Definitely would both be good ones, and the Rose one is still there, like you said, so we can hope that one happens someday. But speaking kind of Joanna and her retiring now, Xiaonan, I mean, for you as a fighter yourself and watching just kind of the sport, between men and women, like, have you had any favorite fighters at all, or like inspirations that you've kind of looked up to watching, whether it's you want to replicate some of their skills and do things your own way by taking from them, or just that you like for whatever reasons, just as you've been growing in the sport?
所以啊，就说到这个乔安娜退役，那就是说 UFC 这些选手里啊，有没有哪个选手是不管男的还是女的，对你影响特别大，有点是被你视作类似偶像似的，自己希望能够学习他，然后成为他，然后是那种有没有哪个选手是在你心中是这么个地位？
我觉得我最喜欢的肯定是康纳，因为他是明星选手，我最喜欢他。完了，还有现在比较喜欢奥利维拉。
Yeah, my favorite one is Conor McGregor, because he is the superstar, and another one who I like very much right now is Charles Oliveira.
Yes, absolutely. Can't go wrong with Charles. And, Conor definitely put things on the map a good bit. So good choices there. Always very fun to watch. So, yeah, looking forward to Charles's next fight, too. And maybe you can get on a card with him someday. But, all right, Xiaonan, before I let you go here, I'll leave you with kind of a fun one. Maybe not so fun because you're in the middle of training camp and whatnot. But I noticed I've been talking to fighters a lot about food recently. So I figured, I'd kind of get your thoughts on what is kind of your go-to meal, after a fight's over, the first thing you have after a fight's over. Like, is there something you go to, or a favorite that you have once you're able to indulge again a little bit?
所以啊，在采访结束前，再问你最后一个问题，是关于吃的，就是当你打完一场比赛之后，你最想吃的东西是什么？就是你马上要吃的，或者就是特别想吃的，就是或者比赛后一定要吃的，就是你打完比赛后最想吃的一样东西是什么？
我觉得打完比赛最想吃的就是庆祝一下，肯定是中餐，像饺子啊、馒头啊、面啊、火锅都可以。火锅吧，最想吃。
Chinese food for sure. So maybe dumplings, some noodles, some rice, but hot pot. Yeah, let's say hot pot. Hot pot is my go-to meal. Yeah, after fight. Yeah, let's go get some hot pot.
Of course, a great choice. Can't go wrong there. And I mean, to springboard off of that, Xiaonan, like, I got to know, how does, having spent so much time in America now that you have, like, how does the Chinese food compare here to back home? I'm sure it's, not quite the same. I mean, I've had both myself, but you know better, of course.
所以他就说，顺便问你一句，你也在美国最近待了有一段时间了，你觉得这儿的中餐跟咱们国内比起来怎么样？差得多吗？
我觉得不多。你要是去找到好地方的话，跟国内的一样，也许有的还比国内的更好吃。
Yeah, if you can find the right place here in the U.S., you can get very authentic food, same as what we eat in China. Sometimes even better than what we eat in China. So yeah, you just need to find a right place.
Of course, always about finding it, searching and whatnot. So definitely good points there. But all right, Xiaonan, I've kept you for plenty. I won't keep you too much longer here on this Sunday night. Appreciate you taking the time so much. Always great getting to chat with you. Always very exciting getting to watch you fight. Can't wait for this one. Congrats again on the main event spots. Going to be fun. So I wish you the best of luck with training camp and all that as it gets close to wrapping up here. And yeah, just thank you so much for the time. A big shishi, and we'll catch up again in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
愉快。
Okay, bye bye. Happy weekend.